I'm gonna give you 9 body weight exercises that you can use to become a savage fighter to increase your impulse, speed, strength, and endurance. And we're gonna start right now. The first exercise is a pull-up, but it isn't just any pull-up. So this isn't just any pull-up though. We are going to do a switch grip pull-up, which I'm gonna teach you how to do as effectively as possible. And I know combat athletes, for some odd reason, most of you don't like to lift weights at all. I'm still not sure why. With that being said, this movement is something that I think we should be mastering. It's gonna help you with your strength and impulse, especially with your grip. Okay, so if we get into a position here, and we do a pull-up like this, okay, I'm gonna go get set, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna come down, and I'm gonna switch grip. And now I have to hold this position and do a chin-up. And then I switch, and now I do a pull-up. I hold this, and then I switch. And then I have to come back up. And we can do that, let's say like 4 on each way, 5 each way. And then over time, when we're switching, this is gonna be similar to if we're trying to grab someone, if we're trying to set something up, if we're trying to get wrist control. If we can improve our impulse from our forearms, that's gonna help with that wrist control. That could help with getting a collar tie. That could help in the clinch. So all these things have to be thought of when we're building out these specific movements. Use a switch grip pull-up to improve that lat strength, bicep strength, and forearm strength, but also that forearm impulse. Impulse is gonna be based around how much force you can apply in a designated period of time. And one of the big aspects that we have to think about with combat athletes is how much force can they apply if they're throwing a punch? How much force can they apply in a designated period of time if they're taking a double leg? Let's say if they're getting someone in the clinch and they need to apply force through that knee. These are examples of how we would develop impulse. This is a major component behind combat sports. How can we develop impulse? How can we develop other characteristics like strength and speed and then endurance? Okay, so endurance comes into play where we want to be able to apply that impulse over long periods of time if we have a longer fight. So switch grip pull-ups are a great way to increase that strength and impulse from your hands. This next movement is going to train the same exact positions, same exact muscles, slightly differently, and it's gonna add a little bit of endurance to it. So we're gonna do a monkey bar pull-up, but I'm gonna show you how to do this because it's pretty freaking interesting. It's something that you guys could do literally if you're at a playground. You can do this and you can get it done, and it's gonna light up your grip, it's gonna light up your lats, it's gonna light up your biceps, which is going to increase your mat strength. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump to the monkey bars. Here, okay, I'll hit a pull-up. Then I go here, boom, boom. Now I get set, monkey bar pull-up, or neutral grip pull-up. Here, get set, come back up, boom, hold, boom, boom. Neutral grip pull up, boom. So, and if you even notice when I'm doing that, going across, boom, I can hold this position here at the top, and that's gonna engage my trunk. So I have trunk control, go sideways, and I hit that again. Once you become a savage, if we wanna use body weight exercises to become a savage fighter, do, let's say, 1 over, 1 back, 1 over, 1 back, 1 over, 1 back, 1 over, 1 back. 8 pull-ups. Rest a minute, do your switch grip pull-ups. Go back and forth, 4 to 5 sets. You could do this for a time frame. Let's say you're in the UFC and you've got a 5-minute round. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, how many times can you do it? That's a really unique way to increase your muscular endurance specific to the sport, also increase your overall strength while targeting the impulse of your forearms. But these are just pulling exercises. What about if we want to knock somebody out? What about those punching exercises? The next 2 exercises are gonna get you into that pushing aspect. And these are 2 of my favorite. The first one we've all seen. So we're gonna get here, hold this, come down, boom, 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 boom. Sounded weird when I was hitting my shirt on there, my gut, oh my gosh. But the big aspect there is that we wanna explode with massive intent. Think about that big punch. Think about pushing and pulling. So then when we hold that trunk control, we hold that stability, we can apply more force from the shoulders to triceps and the pecs. Big aspect here too is that you can raise the boxes if you want, or you can do pauses at the bottom, or you can pause at the top, come down, pause back at the top. You can get really, really creative with that pushing style of push-ups to boxes. One of my all-time favorites involves using our PVC pipe, available at garagestrength.com. Now, if we're gonna sit here, we can look at this. It's 3 inches. Most of you aren't used to 3 inches. So if we're gonna use this pipe, we can go here. We can do a push-up like this, all right? And now if I'm holding this, I can shake. I don't want to actually do that, but some kids, when they first get on there, they will shake until they start to be more stable. Then you can get down here, boom, oof, oof, oof. And when we pause at the top there, we want to squeeze through this to improve our ability to have that one-on-one, improve our ability to have more stability in our pec, our shoulder, and our tricep. So you can use that pipe along with explosive push-ups to cover everything that you need with body weight exercises to become a savage fighter. So how can you develop lower body speed, endurance, strength, or impulse with just those body weight exercises? That's where these next 3 movements come into play. Okay, so the first exercise that we're gonna cover is going to be a squat, full range of motion. We wanna see this squat, full range of motion with your body weight, okay? The impulse aspect comes into play here. We're gonna go here, boom, up, okay? So we wanna go full range of motion, jump, tuck jump. Do this for like 5 triples, 5 sets of 4. You can do this before you get out on the mat. You can do this at home if you don't have access to hurdles or anything along those lines. That full range of motion is something that's key for combat athletes. Okay, you're playing your sport, you're doing your sport in full range. You're gonna be in weird positions if you're taking a shot. You're gonna be in weird positions if you're defending yourself. So if you can apply a massive amount of force in that short period of time, now you're building that impulse, and if you get good at this over a long period of time, then you become more explosive. So that second body weight exercise is going to be a unique one where we're in a unilateral position. So I like to think about with wrestling or with something like fighting, Muay Thai, you're always in some type of unilateral situation. Okay, this is really common in most sports. Okay, so if we could take this position here and we have this as a target, so our intent is gonna be a little bit higher. Our force production should be higher. That's gonna help us with impulse. And if we do this regularly, okay, now that will indeed improve our endurance and probably our speed based off of what we're targeting, and also will improve our overall strength. So we're gonna go here in that jump lunge position, boom, like that, down, boom, down, boom, down, boom. And over time, you start to do that a little bit quicker. If you notice, I have my left leg forward on this side, right leg forward on this side. Try to feel where you're a little bit weaker. Now, if I go here, boom, like that, here, ooh, that side's a little bit slower when my right leg's back. So you can actually work different qualities based off the side that you're a little bit weaker, and then over time, that will iron itself out. You're gonna be more explosive and you're gonna be stronger just using that body weight movement. Okay, so the next movement is gonna be something really unique that we can go unilateral into a bilateral landing. And when we're looking at different combat sports, I work with South Dakota State's wrestling team. Okay, so we can test them quarterly, essentially is how we're setting this up. And we can see how they're weak potentially with a strength movement or even with an impulse movement like this, because we can test their vertical jump. Okay, and if we see that their vertical jumps are only 22 to 23 inches, we know that a movement like this will boost that vertical jump, which ideally will help them take better shots, hopefully, and get more All-Americans. So we're gonna do this exercise here where we'll go depth drop with a little bit of pause. This is just to wake it up and warm it up. Okay, here, depth drop, pause. Notice there, I'm a little weak, so I gotta focus on that, boom. Okay, let's go back up, right side, boom, better. Now, that's the first part of the movement. Second part is I'm gonna bound and I'm gonna land on a bilateral position. So I'm gonna go here, boom, okay? And we can get creative and try to figure out like which side am I reacting faster with? Which side am I jumping longer on? Okay, so if we know that our landing zone is within about 12 inches of the box, we can put markers out there to push our intent to go farther. Okay, so we're here, boom. And then over time, you build that up, and you continuously try to push that explosiveness and that speed because it's gonna help you quite a bit. So in the realm of body weight training, is this all there is? Is there other things that we can use to help develop you as a combat athlete? You need to train dynamic trunk control. And while lifting weights is absolutely fantastic, one of the best things that you guys can do is to start hammering those body weight exercises. Inside of our strength training app, Peak Strength, we even have a section where you can fill out, I wanna train as a combat athlete. I wanna train with just body weight. I don't have access to equipment. You can select that. You can pick that, and then we have developed this program based off of that aspect of, look, let's just hammer body weight movements. Let's try to develop you as an overarching complete athlete that has endurance, that has impulse, that has strength, that has speed. All of these things are absolutely key for you guys to dominate as a savage fighter. So head over to peakstrength.app, the Google Play Store or the Apple iOS Store. You can download Peak Strength for 5 free workouts. You get that first week for free. Now, we're gonna get into that next key exercise. Okay, so the first movement is going to be my all-time favorite, the Walrus. So the Walrus, I believe, is one of the best overarching compound exercise for core strength, core stability, dynamic trunk control. So we're gonna have something like this, furniture sliders. These are movements that will lead to more core stability here, which will then help you apply a massive amount of force into your hands or to just create that good mat strength. If we think about tying up in wrestling or the clinch, okay, something like this, or grabbing a knee, you're almost always in this hollow position. So we've got to work in that a little bit inside the weight room so it applies over to that sport realm. Big thing here, thumbs in. I don't want this, I want this. Thumbs in, thumbs in, thumbs in. And then we want to think about lats, shoulders, abs. So I'm gonna go here, boom, 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 boom. And we're gonna do like 15 to 20 meters. Okay, so we get down to this point, we get set, we can stand up, push those away, and then we get into the next aspect. Okay, now we're gonna get into my all-time favorite V-up variation. A lot of combat athletes tend to do V-ups like this. Look at my back. Stop counting the lights. Get off your back. Get off your lower back. Sit up on your butt. So when we're doing the alternating V-up, we have to have this as a pivot point, not our back. We don't want our back down. Unless you're in the UFC or if you're MMA in general, you can be on your back. If you're in jiu-jitsu, that's fine, but do this exercise still as the pivot point being on the butt. I'm gonna be here, elbow to opposing knee. Here, oof, 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 oof. One more. Oof, oof. One of the best ways to finish off that workout is let's do 5 minutes straight. 15 meters of Walrus, 17 each side without alternating V-ups. Set a timer at 5 minutes and use that to improve that overall core strength. Because remember, freaks, if you want to become a champion, you've always got to cultivate your power. Peace.